The telescope fish. You find these weirdos in deep cold water, about 6 inches long. Their name comes from their weird eyes, tubular eyes, telescope-like eyes. And they have a greatly elongated ribbon-like tail on the lower section of their tail fin. Perfect, eh? I thought so. Ribbon tail. That's supposed to be like over half its body length. A slender, slightly tapered fish with a large head, dominated by large forward-pointing telescoping eyes, with large lenses, pointed snouts, highly extensile mouth, whatever that means, lined with sharp teeth, slightly recurved, and depressible. What is a depressible tooth? Do they contract? It would say contractible if that were the case. What is a depressible tooth?
A depressible tooth is one that moves downwards when pressure is applied.
So telescope fish need dental work. No scales on the body of these things, but it is covered in an easily abraded, silvery iguanine. I'm assuming that's the slime, which imparts a greenish to purplish iridescence in life. It imparts greenish to purplish iridescence in life? That's what the guanine does? I'm just confused. Stomach is highly distensible. What insufferable nitwit wrote this? I'm frustrated. This should be easily understandable and it's not. The stomach is highly distensible.
Distensible means capable of being stretched or expanded. It's often used in medical or biological contexts.
Stretchy, okay. They think that the telescope fish are solitary, active predators. They go it alone with their predatory behaviors. 500 to 3,000 meters below the surface of the oceans, there they are, being predators. By using their tubular large lens eyes, kind of like binoculars, they collect a lot of light. They spy on all of their prey. They can see their weak bioluminescence from a far distance and zoom in and do their predator stuff. They like bristle mouths, lanternfish, barbled dragonfish, and other things like that. These sound like things that I should make as well. Barbled dragonfish right there. Lanternfish. That's nothing special. A bristle mouth. That's kind of cool. Anywhoosie. Owing to the telescope's fish highly extensile jaws and its distensible stomach, they're able to swallow prey larger than themselves. But this is a common adaptation to life in these depths. Like the saber-toothed fish, these dudes have that adaptation. That's one I should make someday. One day I'll make that. So yeah, these are just weird-looking predators deep in the sea. They migrate to the surface at night. They do their predatoring. They go back down. They're always looking, zooming their weird eyes in on their prey from below. There's very little known about the reproductive habits of these fish. They're just presumed to be non-guarding. That means they don't really care about their reproduction. Let's just say they indiscriminately release their reproductive materials any which way and cross their fingers. They might not even cross their fingers. They just release. The fertilized eggs, they're buoyant and they just become a part of the zooplankton in the ocean, wherein the larvae remain and eventually hatch and start their predatory life journey. Watch out for this telescope fish, fellas, because it's probably watching you. What's up, Roz? Yeah, I'm working. You're hungry? It's tooth time. Taxidermy teeth making stuff. Time to be a professional. Oh boy. Okay, being a professional is hard. Get in there. Alright, if I push it against and drag the toothpick against the wood, it works. Thank goodness I figured that out. Because their mouths really do look like that. Excuse me, their teeth really do look like that. They look fuzzy. Remember, they're distensible. Really hope this stuff does not inhibit the cure of platinum-based silicone, or these teeth are going to go from distensible to goopy. I just made up the excuse in my head. The messier, the better. And that made me feel better about this. I'm trying to get it against that wood that's on the inside of the mouth. We can't have these just free-floating. The mold won't pick up little alienated detail. It needs a backing. That looks like what these weirdos' mouths look like. Fuzzy, distensible teeth. That went from feeling like I'm ruining everything to, oh wow, that's exactly what it needed to be. Absolute roller coaster of a tooth application. I'm gonna give this one coat of shellac based. We're trying shellac based stuff in this video. Hopefully it doesn't inhibit the cure of the platinum silicone. And then we're making the mold out of that. I have some very small solid black eyes. As for the rest of the body, it's almost finished. Looking sleek, natural, deep sea fish like. Tail's right here. I cut this out. I still have to like sand the inside of this nice and smooth. The outside sanded down to 300 something. This is not going to be installed until all this is going in the mold. This will be polished up and beautiful. Never used this before. It's white. I didn't know it was gonna be white. It smells kind of good. Very watery. Ooh, except when I got to the bottom there. It needed stirred a lot better. Hopefully I didn't just ruin this bait. It's chunky at the bottom. Bob Saget. Those 20 shakes were not enough. we got some of that going on. Oh boy. Man, this stuff's weird. That dried so quick. And it's kind of like chalky. I have this stuff, just straight up shellac. I plan on giving it a glossy coat with that. So I don't know what the point of me stirring this after the fact is. It's like I feel bad for not doing it, so I'm doing it now. The reason I'm saying this stuff dries fast is because look at that chip out of the back there. Like it dried and chipped off already while it was hanging up, and I put it on the paper towel to get the excess off, like the drippage, and it chipped off. It didn't just clob off. All right, this stuff is up next. Once that's, I mean, it's probably dry already, but once that's dry. Gonna get these mold boxes made. We're using some uncurable clay, or unbakeable, non-hardening, made for this molding application. This is the mold box for the jig head. Look at that thing. I cut a hook and I glued the ends in so that hook will lay nicely inside of the mold. Now we gotta set it in there. I think this thing's gonna get poured from the bottom. Whoa. That hit me in the face. I don't want to just like smash it in here and get a bunch of clay inside of those teeth, because then I have to pick it all out of there. I just want it to like slide in there nicely, and then I work that clay around the edge. Need to add some in under that hook. Sneak it in there. Oh. 8 ounces in here. We'll do 4 and 4. This stuff is a bit higher strength. I think it resists temperature a bit better, which this is gonna need. I'm gonna try to pour it in lead. That's the first time I'm ever doing this. I've never poured lead into a silicone mold before. Hopefully it lasts. This is some slightly faster curing. Nothing else to say about it. I just hope it works. And that we don't get any leaks. Oop. Just popped right off. Jig head's looking spiffy. Gotta get that clay out from under there. Like that. Very fortunately, no clay got in those teeth. They look clean. The part line's right down the nose, the center of the nose, right down the center of the, wherever the hook comes out of. That was good. Good stuff. I'm gonna shoot this with some mold release kind of around the whole thing and then put it back in the box. But this is supposed to be very effective silicone to silicone mold release. We'll see. Now for the big one. Gonna have to crumble it away. Or not. Oh. I'm liking this clay. It peels away nicely. Get down there. The master is just completely popped out of its socket multiple times, so this was pointless. Story of this channel. I just realized something crucial. I didn't put any mold pins in this. I gotta cut some out right now. Like that. Not as clean looking, but gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. See you tomorrow. Okay.
Did you know what toys would have I don't
Good morning. Here we go. There is a hook in here. It's an important little tidbit to remember. Don't want to go barb deep during the demold. How did the mold release work? Oh boy. Look. Okay. Whew. It's working. Dude, I was so scared there for a second. It's like it wasn't working at all, but it just started giving way. I was so nervous right there. We're busting this telescope fish free. Hook point just popped out. Careful! There's some spots on this that are wanting to hold real hard. I hope the other mold is more forgiving. Maybe I can just take it out and leave those spots. There it is. Master's out. Jig head mold is good to go. Just gotta cut a sprue into it where I can pour. Now for this one, there's actually some petroleum jelly around the edges of this one, and it's already letting go. It's looking like this one will open just fine. You see where that is? You can pry it open. Here we go. Quick and easy. There was a little bit of flashing that seeped over the edge there on the tail. I have to come in with a blade and cut some vents that come all the way back up. Anyway, there's my injection sprue. I'll cut a smaller hole down to the bait, make all the vent holes necessary. Bada bing, bada boom. There's the body. There's the sprue. There's a quick color I made. Let's see if it's any good. I think I injected it. I was being super gentle. I don't see any leaks. Hopefully my venting was correct and we have a good looking bait. I don't think I've ever felt so uncertain about a bait. It's like it couldn't have been that easy, could it? Okay, that was the first time I ever poured lead into a silicone mold. And it's crackling. Oh boy. And it smells strange. But it came out nicely, I suppose. Let's see how many we can do before the mold just explodes. Oh, it's falling out the bottom. I gotta squeeze it tight while I pour. This is crazy. I'm having some issues. And one of the gill plates didn't pour. It smells horrible in here. Oh, that gill plate did pour. It just cracked. Squeeze this tight and give it another pour. Here's a good one. We got another good one. Let's make it so all hope is not lost if we get 2 snags now. So maybe all that crackling on the first pour was just the mold release sizzling off of the surface, and this silicone can actually withstand these temperatures. Because we got another good one. That's the 7th. And it's still picking up really good detail. It's a little smoky and charred in there, but I mean, it's working. So I'm just gonna do 10. All right, that is looking used and abused. It just kind of sits partially open now, and it's hot in there. But we were able to pour 10. We have an arsenal of telescope fish heads. It's time to see if the body fared as well. I have less hope for it. Oh man, that was close. Okay, this one's still usable. Maybe if the mold was a bit hotter, like I give this some consecutive shots, that would go all the way out and vent correctly. But as far as I can tell, the fins did fine. Oh, what the heck happened there? The head didn't fully fill in, okay. I could have gave it more pressure. Okay. The color's pretty good too. All right, I'm gonna shoot it a bit quicker. I don't know, and a little bit more pressure and hope I don't blow out. So right at 350. Okay. Just chipping little pieces away that need to be gone, so we just have a nice clean telescope fish head as a jig head. These are gonna look pretty sweet with the eyes on them, maybe some paint. This is a 3/4 ounce jig. Let's see if there's any differences. 0.02 difference. They're pretty consistent. Please, please, please. The head filled out. Ooh, the tail filled out. Everything filled out. We had some major flashing, but I'm fine with that. More pressure equals more flashing, which equals a nice looking bait after you peel the flashing off. Like such as the fins on the top, they did fill in, but there's just the slightest little cavitation in the front of them. They still look pretty good. If that happens every time just like that, I'm okay with it because the tail came out. That's why. That's why I'm okay with any other defects. This tail, the venting worked all the way up there. It worked. I might consider a harder plastisol because what the heck even is that?
You don't know what hits your account on a monthly basis.
Just to lighten things up a tad, I got the pearl white out. We're hitting the bellies, or the chins. The gizzard? What's the underside of a telescope's fish mouth? The giblet. I put some black inside of the mouth of each one of these. So we got the blue around the eyes, the white on the belly, a little bit of gunmetal on the top, keeping everything really silvery. And now I'm going to scratch teeth with an airbrush needle, an old one, on that black. Makes it shiny. Like that literally deforms the lead and puts scratches into it, so it makes it look very tooth-like too. That's putting off the look pretty strong, you know? Nice. Next is eyeball. Get a little bit of glue on that thing. Chicka-cha. It's coming to life. Ooh, I'm a little shaky. Need to get some more coffee going. There is a weird predator looking at you right now. What a jig head. 3/4 ounce telescope fish head. Not my most detailed work, but it's lead. I think that's pretty good for lead, you know? One could not fit on the rotisserie, so it's gonna have to drip dry. Poor guy. Good luck. He might have some extensions hanging off of his eyeballs. Sunsets never look as good on camera, but there was a crazy one last night. And there is a telescope fish. Turned out pretty weird. Just a gray body. Silvery, there's some pearls in there. Long ribbon tail. Rigs up nicely. The body just goes straight in that little cavity. Comes over the edge to look like gills. The hook is the perfect size. It's a 3/0 owner jig hook. That's it. Let's go cast it. Many, many, many casts. Maybe first cast, who knows. So I'm seeing a lot of ice out there. I'm at the Mississippi River where a creek runs into it. But we'll see if I can find some open water spots with some juicy potential. Options are limited, but we still have a chance. After this, I know of another spillway around here we can try too. See, I think that's some open water out in front of that dock. Dang, I thought this creek was gonna be open too. Let's walk down the creek first a little ways. Ooh, that feels like 3/4 ounce. It's coming in straight. I hit a stick immediately. First cast, full of gunk. Oh, the tail looks good. Risking it all for you fellas. It's pretty good tail action though. Ah, damn. All right, we lost one. That was after a lot of casts. It's pretty dead back here. I think I'm just gonna go to the river. Oh yeah. Oh, swimming. Oh man. Oh man. Well, it's been quite a while. Absolutely no bites whatsoever. I'm tying something a little bit smaller on just to see. You know, if this doesn't produce, I'll hit the other spillway. If the other spillway doesn't produce, I'll meet you back in the shop. Oh, just brings a tear to my eye. Oh. Just kidding, I've been staring at a screen for too long. I'm not crying. You know the extra depressing part? That was probably the last kind of warm day of the year. So sad. Which makes it even less likely for me to get a fish on this thing, just because I'm less likely to go out and fish when it's that cold. We'll see. Walleye, spillways. The second spot I went to, that spillway wasn't, no, just no. This thing's action is spot on though. I think it will likely get a walleye to take interest. I have faith. If absolutely nothing else, early spring, bait ligation. Look at me, I'm already talking about those. I'm just waiting to hear those topwater bloops. I know it. Oh. Oh, bloop. Boop. Premium YouTube commentary. The member baiter poll is live. You want to become a member of the channel and vote on what I make next? Peacock bass. Gnarly peacock bass is winning right now. Gnarly handfish is in second. Mud puppy. Gnarly mud puppy's in third. And gnarly pig nose frogs in fourth. Become a member baiter of the channel and be able to vote on what I make next. On to the next bait. There they are, in predators. They spot, zoom in, and do their predator stuff. So yeah, these are just weird looking predators. They do their predatoring. They're always looking, zooming their weird eyes in on their prey from below. Watch out for this telescope fish, fellas. It's probably watching you.